Toronto up big in the fourth quarter, playing with that championship pedigree. Ooh. That is OG 3D.
Yes, the OG. Yes, not original, but that is Anunoby with a strong finish.
Say their names on the back of his jersey. He had 23 in the game, only missed one shot from the field, had a perfect night from three in the free throw line, and Toronto is perfect as well. The Lakers have now lost 10 straight against Toronto. LeBron not there for a number of those, but that's a separate conversation. But the bigger part of the conversation is the Lakers do not lock down the number one seed in the Western Conference as they take the L. Now they are 1-1 as the restart has resumed. So I'm looking at the Los Angeles Lakers. Obviously, we know they're super talented, but I want to throw this question at you guys, and we didn't even talk about this in the break. When you're looking at the minutes played so far by LeBron, game one, he goes over 34 minutes. Tonight, he plays 35 minutes. Smitty, after coming off 4 months off, playing these heavy minutes after that layoff, how is that going to affect a player that's clearly a little bit long in the tooth in his 17th season?
Well, you know, Ro, I played 14 seasons. And like you said, he's played 17. He's of age, if you start to look at him right now, 35. And I'm just thinking with LeBron James, I always say, how is he doing it 3D and Ro? But he always finds a way. My question is, and 3D, this is for me to ask you, I look at the Los Angeles Lakers. Is there anybody on the Los Angeles Lakers without Rondo and Avery Bradley now can get LeBron James or Anthony Davis an easy shot? Those two superstars are going to get everybody else easy shots. But at times, is there anybody else on the Los Angeles Lakers can find a way to get him, LeBron James, a easy look? And that's where I think the wear and tear is going to come down to him being productive on the offensive end when he needs to. But everything else, I think he'll be fine physically.
And 3D, I want to throw this one at you. Of course, we discussed the minutes. We'll bring that up later on. But let's talk about AD for a moment. We know that we've seen him in the postseason a couple of times with the Pelicans. He was able to have some awesome games. However, I worry, is AD going to be present in every game? Looking at the game against Toronto tonight, he only had 7 shots in 35 minutes. So when you see the numbers, especially the field goals attempted, does that worry you for the Lakers' chances to have success in the postseason?
Ro, great question. And Smitty, I am a little concerned because the other night he showed us why he's one of the top 5 players in our league when he goes off for all, 40 points and just really dominates the ball game. But I will give Toronto some credit with their length and defensive tenacity tonight, really took him out of his game and made him really work. But to Smitty's question to me, to his comment, Smitty, is that there's not another player that you could put on the floor when LeBron takes a rest where you can throw the ball into the post, maybe post AD up and see if he can get some action going. But when they double team, they had no three-point action really going to get him loose. So there will be a concern, in my opinion, Smitty, because think about this. There's no travel. You hopped on a bus, you went right across the campus to the bubble to get a good night's sleep. So I thought you should be able to come back and respond and play like you did the other night. So I do give Toronto a lot of credit with their defense.
Toronto deserves and has earned all the credit in the world. Again, I mentioned this is Toronto's now 11th straight win over the Lakers. Kyle Lowry, one of those big performers tonight. He goes for 33. And, of course, you get to talk to the media after the game.
Kyle, you guys, the Lakers had the lead heading into the second half, but then a flip switched and you got cooking. What changed for you?
Just got aggressive. Just wanted to go out there and get the win. I mean, you know, we got a team full of scrappy guys, true professionals that go out there and want to win every single night. So, you know, coach made some adjustments. You know, we were out there doing a little bit too much talking, and, you know, we wanted to go out there and just lock in and do our job.
But after all, you guys are the defending champs. So what does a statement game like this tonight say about your intentions down here in Orlando?
No, I don't think it was a statement game. It's a seeding game. You know, it's 1 game out of 8 for us, just to prepare us for the next couple months. And, you know, playing against a great team like the Lakers and a couple guys that are unbelievable. We came in with our game plan, and we, you know, just continue to get better.
Let's go back to before the game real quick. Nick Nurse said that he thought that the Star-Spangled Banner and O Canada should be treated as one long song, and you all knelt for both. What went into that decision, and what were your emotions as you were doing that?
I mean, honestly, to think about it, you know, I was on my knee for over 4 minutes, and to think that a police officer could do that for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. You know, Doc Rivers said that about 2 minutes, and I was down there for 8, and I indented my towel, and it's a sad moment. And you know, I think we did a great job of, understanding what we're doing and why we're down here. We're using our platform. My shirt says a lot. We appreciate the Lakers, and their organization for kneeling for both anthems like they did. So we're just going to continue to be down here and using our voice and our platform to, raise awareness to what we want to raise awareness to.
Once again, the NBA always leading the way in the Department of Social Justice and continuing to push that message out there. Salute to Kyle Lowry. But we're going to talk about basketball here for a moment. Obviously, the Raptors are the defending champions. You look at the record right now is better than the record that they had last season when they won the championship. Yeah. What can be said, Smitty, about the championship pedigree of the Toronto Raptors and what they bring to this restart?
From top to bottom, this organization is about winning, playing the right way, and they're all on the same page. And that's led by on the court is Kyle Lowry. Today, you look at his points. We've seen him score that. But what I love about Kyle Lowry is the dirty work, the big man work. 3D, he'll guard some bigger guys, roll. He'll come out and get you 14 rebounds. He's tough as nails. He's always on the floor, and he took a lot of charges. A couple of them that he didn't get to call was blocks. But here's a smaller guy willing to give up his body for the wins. To me, they just came out, executed, played harder, got to their second and third option on the offensive end, and then got some easy buckets. And they all defend, and they all buy into Nick Nurse's philosophy.
Les, you talk about him being all over the floor. He's usually a league leader in charges drawn every season. He definitely gives up his body every single year. You have to admire the bulldog toughness he plays with. Now, this they're in Orlando, but this Toronto Raptors team, the defending champions, 3D, obviously they're the defending champions. We know that. But are they the biggest threat to the Milwaukee Bucks in the Eastern Conference? Obviously, Kawhi's not there. It's a little bit different roster from last season, but do they pose the biggest threat to Milwaukee advancing to the NBA Finals?
Right now, I'd have to say yes, guys. And first, I'll put my hand up right now, Smitty, because 4 months ago when the Raptors were rolling and people said, are they for real? I was one of those guys back in our preview shows that I didn't have them in the top 8. So I admit I got them totally wrong. I didn't know Kyle Lowry was going to prove that he's a true champion. Siakam has proven that he's an all-star. Van Fleet shown that he can be another small guard that can play along Kyle Lowry. Nick Nurse, the way he's coaching. Boucher. This team from top to bottom, like you said, Smitty, is playing lights-out basketball. So I admit on national television I got them wrong back in the preseason. So I think they can be a threat because all their pieces know who they are and what they do. And Marc Gasol came back in great shape. He's playing great basketball, so they can play big ball or small ball. I like everything what Nick Nurse is doing with the Raptors.
Smitty, follow that one up because I want to hear your take on the Raptors. Obviously, they won the championship. You can't also discount that they have also won a G League championship. Nick Nurse, a big part of that as well. You have tons of players that have all this championship experience. Do you feel like they're the biggest threat to the top seed in the Eastern Conference?
I do, and the reason why I roll in 3D is look at this. They lost Kawhi Leonard. How do you replace a Kawhi Leonard? I think Pascal Siakam is doing his best job. He's being the number one option or one of those guys that can score a lot of buckets on the wing. But the question for me is, how do you replace Pascal Siakam? And if it's going to be OG Anunoby, the way he's played, he's had some injuries, but the way he's played today, now you have that Pascal Siakam to Kawhi Leonard last year. So if that guy, OG Anunoby, on both ends, he can defend, he can knock down some shots, but he can get out on the break, but he can be that 6'8" guy that can switch multiple guys and guard multiple guys. And if he can be Pascal Siakam, that Robin to Batman like Kawhi had with Pascal Siakam, they can be.
Another one of those players that's come up through the Raptors system where they draft well and they develop well. Raptors getting it done. They take down the Lakers tonight. After the game, Lakers head coach Frank Vogel addressing the media.
A little both. They play extremely well. They're the second best defense in the NBA. We know what they give up. They flood to the paint and give up backside threes. I thought we moved the ball well most of the night and got a lot of clean looks and struggled to make shots, and that's part of the restart. There's going to be a little bit of nights where rhythm and timing and shot making is not there. So I would say a little bit of both.
Frank, how do you look at games like this and even the next several that you're going to play before the playoffs? You mentioned that balance between health and rhythm. Where do you need to focus most as you try to get there before the playoffs start?
Well, we're just measuring both. We got to continue to work on, obviously our rhythm and timing. And, we're working really hard on the defensive end, doing some really good things. Maybe that's why our legs aren't quite there with our shooting. But, hopefully that will come. Our guys are committed to the defensive end, and that's the important thing.
Hey, Frank, it's Dave. How can you explain the disparity between AD's performance against the Clippers and his offensive output tonight?
Yeah, the Raptors double-teamed him every time he touched the ball, and he's a willing passer. He's going to make the right play. Again, we moved the ball well. We got backside threes and a lot of good action out of the double teams. We just didn't connect on a lot of them, and even still, when the team's double teaming as much as they were, we still want to get him more involved than we did. But I thought he did a really good job identifying the defense where the double teams where it's coming from, and finding open shots for guys on the backside.
Kyle Good.